15 News.
All right, for some perspective tonight, we want to bring in Frye Gaillard. He is a writer in residence at the University of South Alabama.
He's written several books on civil rights in the South. Mr. Gaillard, thank you so much for joining us tonight. What do you believe, and from what you're seeing, that we can expect to see in the next couple of days?
You know, it's hard to say. You hope that things will not get worse in Ferguson, that there won't be violence that can lead to other people getting hurt, because there's been enough tragedy already in that town. And yet it seems very likely that mistrust is going to grow deeper. You know, there was a prosecutor that the community did not trust who came back with a result that they expected. When people gathered to protest, there were police firing smoke bombs pretty early in that process, and so it just seems like a very tense and unfortunate and kind of disheartening scene. And we know how to do better in this country. We know how to do better policing and to build trust between police and communities.
Well, in this situation, how do you build trust? Is it too late in this situation? Obviously, you say we want to prevent this, we want calm to remain, but police cars are started on fire. We see the looting happening. We hear reports of gunfire. What are police supposed to do in this instance?
Yeah, I think in this case, you know, it's hard to judge from this distance what, you know, I mean, clearly you can't build trust overnight, and so police have to do what they have to do to contain a riot situation. And it's hard to tell because neither of us are there, so we don't have a real sense of what's going on. But the groundwork has to be laid in Ferguson and other places for better communication in the future, I think. You know, there's no place that needs good policing more than low-income neighborhoods, and in places where there is that kind of trust, police and good people work together to reduce crime, and it can really change the face of those communities. So we know it's possible. We just have to work hard at it as a country.
Okay, now you're talking about working hard, because a lot of times we've had these discussions before, not in many communities, and it seems like it's that once we leave, it's just communication. Nothing really comes from it. What can be done besides talking about it? What can be done to make a change?
Well, I think talking is important, but I also think police training is important. When I was a reporter in Charlotte, North Carolina, I wrote a lot of articles about community policing in difficult neighborhoods in Charlotte. And police officers went in there with the assumption that 95% of the people in these high-crime neighborhoods were the good people who didn't want the crime any more than policemen did. And they carried themselves in that way, in a kind of non-adversarial way, unless they had to be adversaries. And police and community people worked really well together. So I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen that kind of stance that police can take and make a difference. You know, I wasn't there when Officer Wilson and Michael Brown had their confrontation, and you know, maybe Officer Wilson did it exactly the way it should have been done, but maybe he didn't, and there isn't enough trust. And I think that, you know, the police need to work at engaging the community, and the community needs to be willing to listen. And you know, it does work when those ingredients are in place.
All right, Mr. Gaillard, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate your expertise.
Thank you.
There's some interesting feedback.